Honourable member for Lacombe-Panoka, followed by Leduc-Beaumont.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Brian Barberio is the Premier's former executive assistant. After working in her office as Justice Minister, he worked on her PC leadership campaign and then followed her into the Premier's office. He's now listed on the Alberta Sunshine List as a senior manager in international and intergovernmental relations, with a total compensation package of over $160,000 per year. Can the Associate IIR Minister assure Albertans that Mr. Barberio was awarded this senior position through an open job competition?
Honourable Deputy Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are many people who work for this government who have talent and are good public servants. The Sunshine List, the purpose of the Sunshine List isn't to open every one of our public servants to attack and a question as to whether or not they went through appropriate hiring process. We go through appropriate hiring processes, we find and select good talent, we utilize people in appropriate places, and we move them to where they can do the most good for the people of Alberta.
For supplemental.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's not the employee's fault. I'm actually asking the Minister. Mr. Speaker, given the very senior nature of Mr. Barberio's position and given the magnitude of the files and issues IIR is currently dealing with, it's of utmost importance that we hire the most talented, experienced and qualified individuals that we can for these jobs. Again, to the Associate Minister of IIR. Was Mr. Barberio hired to this senior managerial position through an open and fair job competition with other qualified applicants?
Very good. Honourable Deputy Premier, before you speak, Calgary-Buffalo, could I get you to just tone it down a bit? You might be on the list. I'll recognize you later, but not now, please. Honourable Deputy Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This government is committed to hiring people who have talent, using those talents well, using those people in the most appropriate places. The purpose of a Sunshine List is not to expose each individual member of the public service to this type of critique. The assurance that this government can give is that when we hire people to do a job, we hire the best people we can find to do those jobs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's not about the individual, it's about the protocol. Mr. Speaker, given that Mr. Barberio wouldn't be the first former Premier's office staffer to land on his feet with a senior high-paying government job, can the Associate IIR Minister immediately put to rest the notion that this $160,000 per year job was a post created specifically for Mr. Barberio after he left the Premier's office? Table the job posting, please, Minister.
Before you respond, could I get Calgary Fish Creek and the Minister of Finance and whoever else is on the front bench giving the bait or taking the bait to please stop? You can hardly hear the question being asked, but we can sure hear your conversation. So please, let's stop this across the bow stuff. Look up here if you have to. Look somewhere else. Find something to read. But don't take the bait. Whoever's giving it, don't give it. Let's carry on. Who's answering? Deputy Premier, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would much prefer to look at you when I answer the questions. And I will take your advice on that because it's very important in this House that we do focus on the important issues. And I can say to this honourable member and to all honourable members of the House that this government takes very, very seriously how we deploy personnel, who we deploy in offices across the country and across the world on behalf of Albertans. Opening up new markets requires talent. We use that talent well and we get the best talent we can.